Okay, we are live. 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 What's going on, guys? Hopefully, you're keeping well on this fine Tuesday evening here in the UK. I say fine. It's been kind of fucking cloudy. It's not been great. It was a nice weekend though, nice and sunny. So it's all good. It's all good. I've had the last couple of days off, so I've had a long weekend. But back to reality tomorrow. But I thought I'd get a quick little live stream done. Talk some boxing. Obviously, this weekend we have a big fight between Teofimo Lopez and Josh Taylor at 140, Madison Square Garden. That is going to be for Josh Taylor's WBO title. It's a good fight. I can see it going either way. I've made my prediction video. I'll probably upload it tomorrow, though, to be honest. But that's all ready to go. I've not made a video, I don't think, in like a week or something. So I'll upload that tomorrow. But I was umming and ahhing, man. I'm still not really sure on it, but yeah, it's a good fight. It's a good fight. One of the fights I've been looking forward to most recently, actually. I think it's going to be a good fight. I don't think it's going to be a boring fight, put it that way. Could it be controversial? Maybe, but I don't know. What's up, JD? How you doing, bro? Big up to Andrew as well. Big up to Andrew. Hopefully you're well, bro. Hopefully you're well. Tio gets splattered. I don't think. Listen, man. I think it's gonna. I think it's gonna be a competitive fight. I think Tio is going to be dangerous. But to give it away a little bit, I do lean towards Josh Taylor. I don't think it's going to be a mismatch like some people think it is. I don't see it being a mismatch. I see it being very competitive. I've been a bit more regular with the live streams on this channel, but not so much with the actual videos. I don't really see what there's to make videos about now. Like what subject in boxing is worth talking about right now? Just keep on rinsing videos about Tyson Fury and Anthony Joshua. Bruh, fuck that shit. Ben Green, yeah. Big up, man. Josh Taylor looked like a smackhead in his last few weigh-ins. Definitely going to play a part. Well, I was surmising that in my prediction video. I think that's something to consider. I really do. Yes, he's got the size advantage over Tio. Cool. But he's having to sacrifice a lot to make that weight. He's having to sacrifice a lot. So that could be a factor. What's good, J7? How you doing, bro? Tio all day? See, I don't think Tio's a crazy prediction. I really don't. I can see that fight. No outcome would surprise me. I could see Taylor winning by knockout or points. I can see Tio winning by knockout or points. I can see a draw. The only outcomes that would somewhat surprise me would be early knockouts for either guy. Aside from that, no outcome would surprise me whatsoever. Oh, damn. Thank you, Andrew, man. That's a huge super chat, man. £25. Thank you very much, man. Absolute legend. Absolute legend, man. It's going to help out. I fucked my washing machine up a couple of weeks ago. I never fucked it up, but it broke on me, so had to waste a few £100 buying a new fucking washing machine. So that's all good, man. Thank you very much. Big up to Andrew. Yeah, big up to Andrew every time. Saludos, man. Nigel Farage to the boxing ring. Yeah. I wasn't too keen on Taylor after the Catterall fight as his behaviour was disappointing. I agree. But I prefer him as a person to Lopez. I agree. I can't disagree with any of that. I can't disagree. It's a shame, really. It's a shame the undercard isn't great. Xander Zayat is on the undercard, who's a good prospect. I think he's getting a little overhyped, though, to be honest. But he's a good prospect. Let's have a look at the undercard. Who's on the undercard? Where's the undercard? Madison Square Garden. Jermaine Ortiz is on the undercard. He's got a comeback fight. He's not fighting anybody good. Yeah, the undercard is shit. Bruce Carrington's on the undercard. Good prospects. Robson Conceição was for some reason on the card in a 10-rounder against a nobody. It's not a great undercard. Also, there's Sonny Edwards fighting this weekend as well. Yeah, regarding what you could do or what you could upload about, G-Man does small vids on any circulating news, but I think that's your. I don't think that's your thing. Yeah, it's not really my thing. I used to do that way back in the day. I need to make videos. Really, I know my strong point on this channel when it comes to boxing content. The most viewed videos I get on boxing are the ones where I rant and rave about certain things. Like I was going to make a video on Eddie Hearn and O'Hara Davis, that fucking get together they had, and I was going to go in on Eddie Hearn. I had a good little angle, but I never made it, and now it's too late. What's up, bro? What's up, Michael? Josh Taylor changed his trainers like 3 times, right, in his last 5 fights. Yeah, he has. I think his current trainer now, Joe McNally, is more suited to his style, though. Rumor has it Aisho Speed is fighting on Misfits. I don't really know who that guy is. Yeah, I agree, Pimp My Sniper. Yeah, people are sleeping on Teo. Don't be surprised if Teo gets the win. I agree. He's got a chance. He's got a chance. Yeah, it's about 4 a.m., bro. It's going to be a late one. It's going to be a late one. I might stay up for it. I don't know yet. I'll see how I feel on the day. Yeah. Most popular video was Dubois versus Lorena fixed fight. People love that sort of shit, right? Not this weekend. I can't see it, bro. He's being fed another cab driver. But yeah, I need to make more of those sort of videos on the boxing side. Just fucking ranting videos. People like that sort of shit. Like you can make a prediction video and sometimes they get good views. I wouldn't be shocked, bro, if it's Anthony Joshua. Joshua makes sense. I mean, they want the biggest sanctioning fee, right? They want the biggest sanctioning fee, so I wouldn't be shocked if it's Anthony Joshua. I think that makes the most sense. He's coming off a win now, so they can kind of like push it. So oh shit, Sergey Derevyanchenko versus Jaime Munguia. When is that fight? I knew it was being talked about. I never knew it was coming around that soon. 10th. Oh shit, that's this weekend as well. I never knew that fight was this weekend. Taking place at the Toyota Arena in Ontario. That's a good little fight. It'll be fun, but you know, Derevyanchenko is way past it now. He'll give Munguia some good rounds, but you would assume Munguia's going to overpower him, right? It's a decent fight, though. It's a decent fight. Thoughts on Bivol saying no to Beterbiev and Canelo in the last 2 months? It's a bad look. Who will Bivol fight now? Good question. I don't really care about him not fighting Canelo again. I've genuinely got no interest in that rematch. As for Beterbiev, that's no bueno. That's a big problem. That's a big problem. As for who he's going to fight, I mean, who is there to fight? Who is there to fight at like heavyweight right now for Dimitri Bivol? It's going to be like just a stay busy fight. It's going to be a stay busy fight against some like also Rand. I can't see who he's going to fight, bro. I want to see Munguia get chin checked, win or lose. Andrew's got 1,500 on Crawford for outright win, return of 2,500. Yeah, I'd say, listen, bro, I'd say Crawford's a favourite, so might be worth a bet. If you've got the money to throw around, bro, go for it, man. Go for it. See, when I bet, I don't bet anymore, but when I used to bet on boxing, I used to do like small accumulators. Because sometimes you can get good odds on, like, even if it's a favourite, like you can get good odds on like for not like a method of victory, like knockout, whatever. Yeah, I'm not sure when he said no to Beterbiev. I'll drop you 250 when it comes in. Absolute lad. Absolute lad. Broner's fighting this weekend as well. Yeah, he's fighting on Friday. He's fighting on Friday. That's mad. He's fighting some random as well, like nobody's heard of him. He's fighting Bill Hutchinson. Sounds like a fucking serial killer, doesn't it? Wild Bill. Bill Hutchinson. Rigon Dial's fighting on the undercard as well. He's fighting some 12-0 guy who's nobody's heard of. Rigon Dial's fighting Charlie Clemente Andino. Puerto Rican guy. Never heard of him. Terrible, man. Absolutely terrible. Yeah, Sonny Edwards is fighting this weekend against some guy from Chile. Yeah. That, I mean, you never know with these South American fighters who you've never heard of. Sometimes they can come over and they are absolute shites. But sometimes they are like diamonds in the rough. They come in and they like upset the apple cart. So who knows what sort of fight Sonny's going to be in. Bro, I've been having a go recently at Canelo fanboys making every excuse not to accept 50 million versus Beterbiev. Bivol clearly doesn't want to fight. The next best thing is Benavidez Canelo. I agree. And I think anybody with any common sense who just wants to see the best fights would agree as well. But, you know, we live in the age now of fanboyism where guys shill for certain promoters or certain networks. So a Benavidez fight doesn't suit that narrative because there are certain guys who are rooting for the zone who don't want to see Canelo fight on another platform. I've seen it. I've seen it online. I've seen it. Brown envelopes. That's what they are. I've seen it, bro. It's mad. But yeah, Canelo Benavidez to me excites me. That excites me a lot. The whole scene's clapped, honestly, bro. I don't respect many people in the boxing scene anymore. Zero. Nada. I don't know what you're referring to. Do you mean... I know Charles Oliveira's fighting soon. I don't know who he's fighting. Yeah, Broner's ass. Facts. What are your thoughts on Sky Sports reporting Okolie might go up to Bridgerweight? I reckon being dropped against Chris Billam-Smith has scared him off heavyweight. Yeah. I mean, he was talking about Bridgerweight a little while ago, to be fair to him. But yeah, maybe you're right. Maybe getting dropped by Billam-Smith has kind of scared him, maybe. Regardless, though, Ben, to be honest, whatever Okolie does, more than likely I'm not going to be interested anytime soon. Do you know what I mean? That's a good question. How many pay-per-views will Spence Crawford do? Neither guy's a draw on their own. But if you get those two guys together, I could see it doing 400, 500 maybe. 500k max. I don't think it's going to get anywhere near 1 million. Yeah, Sonny would annoy me, bro. Sonny would annoy me. I've got no idea in regards to the nature of the supposed offer. But again, I'm talking about what I want as a fan. For me, Benavidez Canelo is far more appealing than B-Roll versus Canelo. I mean, they've worked with Canelo before, right? Showtime, Heyman's guys. They worked with Canelo before. Canelo seemed happy. So, listen, if it's bullshit, I'm sure that's going to get exposed. I mean, Badu Jack. I know why. You know, it's for money fight. But yeah, but I wouldn't mind that fight. I wouldn't mind that fight. Badu Jack versus Canelo. I've not played Friday the 13th in ages, but I have played it. It's good. Josh Taylor continues to be a wider and wider favourite with the bookies. Started at even money. Now Teo is damn near 2-1 outsider. That's tempting, that is. That's tempting. Yeah, why is everyone hating on Akole? Akole's a national treasure. Great Britain's cure to insomnia. Yeah. No idea, Henry. We was talking about this earlier. With these unknown South American fighters, they can be one of two things. Either a diamond in the dirt, where they come out and they're actually good, or they're complete shit. So who knows? Yeah, that is true as well. Yeah, Samson Lukovic is Benavidez's promoter. It makes perfect sense for him to be the one making the offers. Yeah, and I'm sure. Listen, I'm sure he's had the go ahead from like Al Heyman and people at Showtime that they can put that fight on. And listen, whether we were happy with the fight or not, I'm sure a lot of people saw the success of Ryan Garcia and Tank. At the end of the day, if it's a big fight, if it's a fight that's in demand, it's always going to be better on Showtime than DAZN, just due to exposure. More people are aware of what Showtime is. And I'm sure that 50 million offer has upside as well. So if it performs, he's going to get paid a lot more, you would assume. Again, that's a fight, though. Does it need a rematch? I'd rather not see it. I'd rather see a Correlate do something different. I agree, Reese. Yeah, 15-month layoff, making the weight. Didn't look good against Catterall, yeah. I would say Usyk late stoppage because David Hay had the reputation of gassing if you made him work hard. I'd say David Hay would be very dangerous early on, but I think he probably gets stopped late or loses on points. I saw snippets of the interview. Yeah, it was a joke. Yeah, that was crazy, right? Usyk set himself up good. He's got two big investor groups in Poland and Saudi backing him now. Fans can't say Usyk brings no money. Yeah, I think he'll fight at 140 next, Devin Haney. I'd personally like to see a rematch with Lomachenko. I'd personally like to see a rematch with Lomachenko. Isaac Chamberlain is a good fighter. He is a pretty good fighter, but he's one of those guys that to me looks too small for cruiserweight, too big for light heavyweight. He's always undersized at cruiser. Yeah, it's a good fight, Henry. Jared Anderson versus Don Kozabutski. I think that is Anderson's best opponent so far. Kozabutski's a southpaw. He's well schooled amateur, decent power, good body puncher, good fight. Yeah, facts. This is a good comment. Yeah, Tate is the superhero for 5-year-old boys, a character straight out of GTA. Time for little boys to activate those critical thinking skills. Yeah, to me, the guy just screams of like shill, of like controlled op. Just reeks of controlled opposition. But Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. A train driver, bro. I wouldn't trust myself driving a train. Are you crazy? I can barely drive a fucking car. Do you know what I mean? Evening Dell and chat. I'm wanting to see. Oh, sorry. Sorry. I'm wanting to see Taylor on the scales before a prediction. Whole load of mismatches on the undercard facts. Yeah. Billy Joe got any success in his comeback? He wants a tune-up later this year, and then wants big fights next year. Billy Joe versus Eubank 2 might sell, but what else? There's nothing really there for me for Billy Joe Saunders. Eubank more than likely is going to fight Conor Benn at some point. If he beats Conor Benn, then yeah, a Saunders rematch makes sense because Eubank's name will be strong. But if Eubank somehow loses to, let's say Eubank loses to Conor Benn, then that fight doesn't make any sense. Billy Joe and Eubank. Aside from Eubank, what is there for Billy Joe? Billy Joe Liam Smith, maybe? I'd say Kovalev on points, personally, Jiho. But Kovalev could get knocked out. Has anybody found, that's a great question, has anybody found Adam Smith? Where is that guy? Oh yeah, listen man, Usyk was a Hall of Famer after he was done with cruiserweight. Facts. Facts. I agree. I think this deal with the Saudis is like to, really just to generate what he can before while he's still here. Probably the exit strategy, 2 or 3 more fights, maybe. Call it a day. Not really sure who's on it. Is it Charles Oliveira? Chamberlain, yeah, exactly. Chamberlain needs a 190 division, yeah. Yeah. He's too small for cruiserweight, but too big for light heavyweight. No, I think Sam Maxwell is there to be beaten. He was a good amateur, but I think he stayed too long in the amateurs. Sam Maxwell, his chin seems to be deteriorating. It's been hurt in fights, been dropped, looks bad in fights. I think Dalton Smith knocks him out personally. Interesting fight, good fight. Hearing rumors of Plant versus Andrade getting done soon. Thoughts on that? Good fight. I like that fight. The sort of fight Andrade needs in particular. Andrade being a guy who's been hyped by many people for the best part of a decade, but hasn't really shown anything, not given us a big fight. That's a good fight for him because Plant is well known. We know what level Plant's at. Plant's a good fighter without ever being like the elite of the elite. So that's a good fight. It's a good fight. It's a tricky fight though for both guys. It's a tricky fight for both guys. Sky Sports need Adam Smith back. He says some weird things, but he's a good commentator, in my opinion. He's better than what they have. I'll say that much. AJ ignoring Fury's offer and focusing on White and Wildman instead, is that a mistake? Fury's the bigger fight for the WBC belt. I mean, maybe he doesn't. Maybe he just doesn't trust Tyson Fury. If he puts his eggs in that Tyson Fury basket and it goes wrong again, he's going to look like a prick, right? So I can understand why he's going that route. I mean, he's going to get paid regardless, big money, right? So I don't blame him. I don't blame him personally. I don't really care about a Dillian White fight, but I care about a Wilder fight. Wilder AJ. I'll be honest, yeah. I'll tell you this right now. As a fan, I'd actually rather see AJ versus Wilder than AJ versus Fury. I'd rather see AJ Wilder. It's a better fight. As of right now, I think Tyson Fury plays with Anthony Joshua. I don't think Joshua's really in the right mindset for that fight. Whereas Wilder's a gunslinger fight. Anybody can get knocked out there. So I have more interest in that, personally. Plant beats Andrade? Possibly, yeah. Yeah, really enjoyed your video the other day on boxing fans being so clapped. we get the sport we deserve. And when you delay a fight by 5 years and people are still happy, says a lot. Yeah, like battered housewives. Yeah, he got knocked out in the last round. Yeah, man. That was some fucking like YouTube highlight reel video. That was when trash talking goes wrong. I remember as well. It's a brutal knockout as well, if I recall. Yeah, Dariush Oliveira is a good fight. Dariush is a good wrestler. Be interesting if that fight goes on the ground because Oliveira's got good jiu-jitsu, so it's a good fight. Exactly. Listen, I'm not the biggest, as you guys know, I'm not the biggest fan of Anthony Joshua. But if he's sitting there thinking, well, if I put my eggs in the Tyson Fury basket and it goes wrong again, I'm in a bad position. So can you blame him for not trusting Fury? Really? Probably. Honestly, it's more than likely. It's probably more sensible to go down the route he's going down, White than Wilder. Yeah, the standard of commentary across the board is terrible. Watching old fights with good commentators really shows how shit the majority are nowadays. Yeah, facts. Yeah, Fury no longer has AJ Usyk, Ruiz, or Zhang as opponents. Who's he facing? Manuel Char? Anybody for a Manuel Char fight? No, Manuel Char? Your guess is as good as mine. Chisora fucking 4. I still can't believe they made that third Chisora fight, by the way. I can't believe they made it. I don't know really who Tyson Fury can fight aside from the guys you named. I don't know who he can fight. I don't know who's out there for him. There's nobody out there. I mean, he's not going to fight a guy like a Frank Sanchez or somebody along those lines, is he? So I wouldn't have thought he'd have fought a Hrgovic. Who's he going to fight? I don't think he'd fight Hrgovic, personally. Adam's good mates with Philip. Yeah, I wouldn't be shocked. I know who you mean. Yeah, that's a bad fight. Yeah, Charlo got rich and fought nobodies other than a pair of fights with a tough Argentinian who was not quite skilled enough to win. Literally the Mayweather playbook to a T. Which Charlo? What Charlo are you on about? Jamal Charlo, definitely. Jamal's fought better comp than Jamal. I'll take O'Hara Davis over Florian Marku. Nah, not really, bro. It's not really my thing. Bro, I wouldn't be shocked, and his fans would okay it. They'll describe Manuel Char as a former heavyweight champion because he held like the regular belt or the interim belt. They'll listen, bro. They'll find a way to gas it up. Caballero is a fight I could see happening. Caballero, I could see that sort of fight happening. Dempsey McKean in Australia was talked about. Wouldn't be shocked. Yeah, I think Nate's getting fucked up, bro. I really do. I think Nate's getting fucked up. Not only did they make Chisora Fury free, but they put it on pay-per-view and increased the price to nearly 30 quid. Shocking stuff. As the first two were non-pay-per-view or free TV, yeah. And there was better fights back then. Like even the second fight didn't make that much sense, but at least both guys were still like in their primes. The first fight was good. The other two were mismatches. I like to see Miller fight someone like who would I like to see Miller fight? I want to see Miller fight again, though. I don't know who I want to see him fight, but someone like Miller versus Arslanbek Makhmudov. Manuel Chara is the European version of Christopher Lovejoy. Yeah, that guy has. Listen, somehow he's still, he stole a living in boxing. Really, Manuel Char, the Diamond Boy. Yeah, Nate Diaz might just have one of the most annoying and cringe fan bases in combat sports. Yeah, his fanboys are annoying. I like him as a. I don't. I've always liked watching him fight, and I find him to be an entertaining character. But yeah, his fans are annoying. Yeah, I do. I think Miller could beat Dubois. Absolutely, I do. Yeah, I do. Because listen, I know he's like overweight and he's off of PEDs now more than likely, but he's still got a good chin. He'll still keep on coming, and that could be enough to beat Dubois. Don't like Paddy Pimblett. I think Paddy Pimblett's a clown. UFC hype job, Dana White hype job. He'll get exposed real soon. He'll get exposed real soon. Basically, Paddy Pimblett is what Ian Gary is. Ian Gary is like an Irish prospect in the UFC. I'm not saying Ian Gary is going to be a world champion, but I can at least see why there's hype there. With Paddy Pimblett, I don't see anything. The guy's got a funky haircut. He's a fucking retard, and that's about it. Look, lad. That's all he does. Absolute mongoloid. Appeals to the lowest common denominator. Paddy Pimblett, complete and utter scrub. Fucking guys walking around looking like a Chris fucking Griffin tribute act. I'm not even sure about that, to be honest with you. I didn't see that, but I don't like him personally. I don't like Paddy at all. Everyone's like he's trying to be McGregor with his own spin, and it's terrible. Yeah, Dubois is fragile now with that eye. You can't really ever take extreme risk in a fight again after that, or risk permanent severe injury. Yeah, and that's one thing about Miller. If Miller were to fight Dubois, I doubt Dubois gets Miller out of it, especially early. And that mental anxiety is going to increase round by round as Miller is still coming, as he's still moving forwards, as he's still throwing hands. I think Miller beats Dubois. I'm confident in saying Miller beats Dubois. Ian Gary's for real deal. He's certainly got ability. When it comes to the UFC prospects, it's a lot harder to judge. But I can at least see he's got talent. He's got ability. He's got ability. Yeah, Paddy's bang average. He'll get chin soon. Yeah, he nearly got chinned in his debut. Big up Perry. Paddy's a Down syndrome Darren Till. Yeah, he got unlucky in that last fight when his knee blew out. Yeah, against Curtis Blades. But I agree, Aspinall has talent. It's whether he can come back from that injury. That was a bad injury. Yeah, there's no hype whatsoever in regards to Broner's return. His star is done. His star is done. It's died. It's fizzled out. He'll get paid a packet of pork scratchings and a fucking 6-pack of Modelo. Yeah, he's got a future stuffing his face on camera after getting chinned at least. Yeah. Yeah, Darren Till was a hype job, but I do like him a lot more than Paddy, to be honest. But he was never gonna go for that, in my opinion. Good striker, but not well rounded. Yeah, facts. Best UFC prospects are Kamzat and Shavkat Rakhmonov. Yeah, Rakhmonov looks really good, as does Kamzat. Kamzat's issue is he doesn't fight enough. Not anymore. Well, not anymore at least. Plus, he blew the weight last time out. Pavlovich finishes him first round. I would say just horse racing, Luke. I can't think of many others. Sport's more corrupt than boxing. I'd say horse racing is probably it, if there is any. Don King and Broner deserve each other at this point. Yeah, facts. Facts. Listen, man, you must be some kind of retard to sign with Don King in 2023. What's up? What's up, John Gonzalez? How you doing, man? Good to see you. Yeah, Kamzat should never go back down to 170. Yeah, he's too big. He's too big. Most of UFC's big stars are basically retired. It's lost a lot of steam. I'd say boxing has had much bigger events this year. Yeah, you're probably right. You're probably right. But UFC are more consistent, though. That's the issue. UFC are more consistent. But UFC are still doing good numbers on pay-per-view for a lot of cards. They're still doing good numbers. Yeah, I know, man. I know Cyril Gane's got skills, but bro, I don't like how he looked in that John Jones fight, man. He was shook. He was shook. He looks like one of those guys who's a great athlete, but you can get to him. You can get to him. Yeah, UFC events are more stacked than boxing events too. Yeah. Even UFC nobodies can deliver good fights. Yeah. I know, bro. Imagine talking shit to Jay-Z and rejecting a 50 million multi-fight deal and then doing the same to a big deal from DAZN only to sign with Don King. That's Broner for you. It's hard to gauge, man. It's hard to gauge. It's hard to gauge. It's hard to gauge. I don't know how you can gauge it. Yeah, he did. He did. Like, he was never in that fight, Cyril Gane. He looked shook. That's a good fight, that is, Nathan. That's a good domestic fight. Mark Heffron versus Zach Chelly. Two entertaining fighters. I've got Zach Chelly, personally. I think Zach Chelly's a bit too tough. But yeah, I've got Chelly. It's a good fight though. Is that fight signed now, Navarrete and Valdez? I wouldn't be shocked, if that fight is like Birchelt Part 2, where Valdez really just counters the fuck out of him and knocks him out. Not sure on that, to be honest. Justin versus Max Holloway, I'm not sure. I agree, Perry. I'm pretty much. I slightly lean towards Taylor, but basically, yeah, it's a close fight. It's a close fight. Who needs it? Okay, okay. So it's not official, but it's close to being made. Okay, that's a good fight. Valdez versus Navarrete. Yeah, I know, right? I like MMA. I much prefer boxing, obviously, but I don't mind MMA. I don't mind MMA. What's up, Nordic? How you doing? Okay, so Valdez Navarrete is apparently going to be August 12th. It's a good fight. It's a good fight. Big up Nordic, man. I think Gaethje may be too big and too powerful for Holloway, yeah. And also Holloway looks like he is slowly starting to deteriorate. Not quite at the level he once was. Yeah. Yeah, because Prograis was supposed to fight Liam Parrow from Australia, but Parrow got injured and they replaced him with Zarila, who's a decent fighter, by the way. Zarila's not bad, but yeah, Prograis should win that fight comfortably. Prograis should win that fight comfortably. Yeah, yeah. I mean, we'll see what we'll see what Catterall does next. I think he'll fight Prograis. I think that's his next fight. That's the fight Eddie Hearn seems to be talking about. Prograis versus Catterall. I think Postal retired. Did he not? Pretty certain he retired. I might be wrong. Yeah, Anthony Fowler finally retired. He's now selling CBD oil. He's selling CBD oil now. Sorry, Del. I'm a bigger fan of MMA than boxing, but in the last 18 months, I've been following boxing much more than I did before. Believe it or not, I was a casual before. Yeah, I'm a casual when it comes to MMA, pretty much. I'm a bit of a casual when it comes to MMA. I'm not that great at predicting MMA fights. Yeah, he did. Yeah, he hit what's his name? Dara Foley. Yeah, hit him when he was down. Yeah, bro. Yeah, Teofimo's an idiot. Blazing. Yeah, last saw him lose to Russell, who's a legit top fighter at 140. Yeah, the stoppage was bullshit, but yeah, Russell was in control of that fight. He was in control, and Russell, yeah, Russell's a good fighter. I mean, I don't see what the learning a bit of grappling is probably good, right? Learning a bit of grappling as well as striking is good. Yeah, would be a great sport to learn. I think. Yeah, but I agree. Yeah, Tio hasn't grown up. I noticed this trend a lot with fighters who have their dads around a lot. They seem very immature. Daniel Dubois is another one. Not in the same way Tio's immature. Dubois just comes across childlike, very naive, very shy, like he's never grown up. Tio again is like another guy who's just so immature. Maybe that's a pushy parent thing. I don't know. Yeah, those two though. Listen, man, those two have been at each other's throats for years. Ryan and Oscar. So I think they'll part ways eventually. It's mad, right? It's fucking mad. Never heard of either guy. I've heard of Fauzi Tube. I've never heard of Roman Atwood. Never heard of him. What the fuck is a Gopnik, by the way? What the fuck is a Gopnik? A Chav versus a Gopnik. Who wins? What's a Gopnik? I don't know what a Gopnik is. He's probably no, he's not the smallest lightweight of all time. He's good. He is good. Yeah, Taylor's not that likable either, to be honest. Quality fighter, though. I'd agree with that. Yeah, I'd agree. Yeah, learning some kind of kung fu, boxing, and wrestling jiu-jitsu would make you a complete fighter. Yeah, or like regular kickboxing, Muay Thai. So it's a Russian chav. Okay, a Russian chav. A Russian chav versus a British chav. Russian chav all day long. In Scotland, chavs are called Neds. Yeah, I agree, JD. Yeah, Russian chav beats a British chav. Ivor hard on. That guy, that can't be a real guy. I think you're fucking pulling my leg. I think you're pulling my leg. I know you are. I know you are. My 13-year-old son just got his amateur boxing card. Don't know how to feel about it. I think it's good, man. It's good. Keeps him active. You know, it's a good skill to learn. You know, because you never know. Regardless of where the boxing goes, at least he'll have a base of how to defend himself if he actually needs it in the future. It's better to know something than nothing in that situation, in my opinion. So it's a positive, in my opinion. Yeah, Taylor is like that, though. He is definitely a guy who I can see him rubbing a lot of people up the wrong way. Yeah, he's not exactly the most amiable type of guy, is he? Maybe that's just his fight persona. I've got a feeling that's him. He's kind of just a miserable guy. Yeah, keeping him fit. But yeah, keeping him fit. That's for sure. Yeah, that's good, man. That's good. That's good, man. And like I said, like you never know when you need that to protect yourself. It's better to have that type of skill than not have it because it could. You never know. It could actually come in handy at one point in time. And like you said, main thing is keeps you fit. Sup, Dell just stopped by quickly to drop some love and support. Big up to yourself, Focus. Not sure about kids getting punched in the head, to be honest. Although if fighters don't start young, then how can they ever become champions? Exactly. And I think we are already, but we're at risk of. I think children now are far too mollycoddled anyway. Like me growing up, even I'm late 20s, and even when I was growing up, there was always a sense of not danger, but we got up to all sorts of mischief when we got out. But we actually had experiences, We learned from our mistakes. We did some dumb things, learned from it, got better. But a lot of kids now, man, just stay cooped up in their rooms all day, not doing anything, not socializing, not getting active. There's this whole fucking ultra PC environment that they grow up in where they don't have to hear different opinions, etc. They don't have to do hard things, etc. I think we're raising a generation of soft kids. I really do. So I think, as to what Perry said earlier, I think it's great that your son is boxing. I think it's great. Yeah, exactly. Cooped up in their rooms, watching social media influencers. Yeah, no wonder they don't want to learn and become better people. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, with all of these mentally ill sodomites on the loose, you need to be ready to take out the trash. Yeah. Yeah, man. I feel sorry for kids growing up these days, man. And if I was a parent, because let's say I had a kid tomorrow, I wouldn't have the money to put them in a private school that's a private school is probably just as bad. I wouldn't have enough money to homeschool them. And I'd be very worried about sending my kid to public school or even a private school, which I wouldn't have the money for. I'd be very worried. I really would. I really would. Yeah, teenagers today are going to be fucked. Yeah, there's going to be always some who come through it. I'm 18, Dale, so I'm somewhat in that age group you're talking about, but I'm not no naive and mollycoddled kid. That's good, man. That's good. That's good. I will say though, I don't get out much, but I used to go out a lot more. Yeah. Well, you're getting into. Well, you're a man now, right? You're a grown adult. I'm sure you've got other priorities now, but yeah, when you're a kid, man, I think you should be experiencing things out with your mates and, getting outside, socializing, doing this, that, and the other. Like, we got up to all sorts as kids, man. And we done some dumb things, there's no doubt about it. Done some dumb things, but we learned from it. And yeah, it's good, man. It was good. I think the 2000s, like 2000 to like 2010 maybe, was the last decent decade to grow up. And even then it wasn't great. There's still a lot then that was being taught that wasn't beneficial in my opinion, but yeah, I know, right? Fucking pronouns. Ask a kid in Africa who, who's hungry, whose family is like day by day looking, trying to sort their meals day by day, living in abject poverty. Ask them about their pronouns and explain to them what it means. They'd laugh in your face. It's the sign of that sort of thing is a sign of society that has become far too decadent. And usually when a society becomes obsessed about gender and sexuality, that is when that society is on its way out. We saw that with the Roman Empire, for example. That's what you're seeing right now. I think we are on the way out. The West, other parts of the world are now starting to really get up there economically. I think we've had our time in the sun, personally. Maybe that's too defeatist. I don't see it as defeatist personally because I believe in God anyway. So regardless, I'll be fine. But it is what it is. Yeah, keep yourself fit, keep yourself strong, be sober, be vigilant, and pray. Me and you, Del, are the same age. The shit our gen got up to was decent. We were the tail end of pre-social media, MSN, Messenger, Bebo, etc. Yeah, we were, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I'd like to move abroad and live like a king in the third world, where things are more conservative and I could raise my kids right and keep women in check. Sounds caveman-like, but have you seen the modern world? Yeah. Like, bro, if I had the money, I'd happily live in like fucking Bulgaria or Romania, Hungary, Saudi Arabia. I'd happily live out there, happily. So I was really impressed with Bulgaria. I've said this ad nauseum, but I was really impressed with it when I went out there. You might be better off though going somewhere like Saudi Arabia because I don't know. I just don't think that'll ever happen in Saudi or a place like Saudi. Whereas like the Baltic countries, Eastern Europe, will they be converted in the long run? Maybe. South America, yes, yeah, South America could be good. South America could be good. Yeah, I agree. I think we're about the same age. The early to mid 2000s were good because there were still the residuals of the 1990s in there. Yeah. MSN Messenger, yeah, man. Bro, that was crazy. MSN. I never used Bebo, I don't think. I don't remember using Bebo. But yeah, MSN Messenger was for one. MSN was for one. Way back when. Fucking hell. Crazy. I would never trust YouTube, bro. Like my other channel, for example, the content I cover is probably I wouldn't be comfortable basing my lifestyle on it. The way I see it, that could get iced any time. So even though I'm not breaking any T's and C's, but you know what YouTube are like. I don't trust them. Yeah, that's a great point. Always have a goal and a purpose too. Men need a purpose. It's in our nature. Without it, we get depressed. Yeah. Facts. And that's really all depression is for the most part. It's a sign that something in your life isn't where it should be. There's something in your life that is wrong. Whatever it is, could be your fitness, it could be your relationship status, it could be your financial status, it could be a whole myriad of things, but usually that is what depression is. It's situational. It's not this this thing from the sky that strikes you and you have no control. But that's what they want you to believe because that's good for their bottom dollar. It's good to keep you in that position and keep striving away in the system. You know, the quote unquote mental health pandemic is good for the powers that be. When you can convince somebody that they can't control their own mind and they can't get themselves out of that position, you've got them. You've got them. And life is hard, man. Life is fucking hard, but you always need to maintain that belief that you can change it if you work hard enough. If you keep the faith, you keep fighting, then you can change it. You can always change it. And sometimes, listen, it's hard to keep going, but you got to keep going. Otherwise, what's the alternative? You give up. Then what? You look yourself in the mirror and you realize you're a fucking pussy. You can never give up. You just got to keep fighting. You just got to keep fighting. Keep battling away. Just keep battling away. I like Ultra, man. I like Ultra. I'm 36, feel so fucking old. Or I'm late 20s, I feel old. I feel like now I can barely have conversations with people my age range. Because they are, yeah. Thailand, Bulgaria, Dubai, certain parts of South America look good. Take it back to basics and fully flex that Western currency and status, yeah. Yeah, exactly. One of YouTube's staff could see these streams and goodbye algorithm. Yeah, not wise to rely on it. It's like how long's a piece of string, Andrew? Most of my videos on the other channel get demonetized. So demonetization is funny. Like it's either green or yellow. So yellow is like limited monetization. And those videos don't pay you much. Like if let's say I get a video that is, I don't know, couple of 100K views on the other channel and it's yellow monetization, then it might pay out a couple of $100. But I do have a lot of videos uploaded, so it all adds up. So the other channel is making money. I'm making a nice little bit of money from it, but like I could technically quit my job and do it, but it would be a big risk. It'd be a big risk. Yeah, but my true crime, listen, there's true crime and there's true crime. To be honest with you, like there's basic true crime and there's true crime. So my true crime's a lot fucking a lot more graphic. Yeah, I think they tried to keep us demoralized. Yeah, facts. I have a video with nearly 3 million views. I wish that was true, bro. I've got no idea what my highest earning video was for the other channel. No idea. A video I uploaded like last month has done $800, which ain't bad. I don't really know. One topic that is no bueno is suicide. So yeah, suicide is like insta fucking demonetized, age restricted. This is a very good comment. Mental health usually happens when you bury most of your goals and dreams, settle for a life you never wanted, but media makes it okay to come in ninth place and be obese. It's a very good comment. It's a very good comment. Like, that's a sad thing though, Yemi. Most men don't know what it feels like to actually chase your dreams. To chase their dreams, sorry. They don't know what they don't know what it feels like to chase their dreams. They've never even tried. And the way I see it, that's what I'm doing now. I'm trying to chase my dreams. If I succeed, I succeed. If I fail, I fail. At least I know I tried. At least I know I put the effort in, I put the work in. And if it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. What can I say? I tried. But a lot of guys, man, they haven't even tried. I'd like to learn Spanish, Jiho. I'd like to learn Spanish. The difference between your energy levels at 17 and later 20s is huge, much bigger than you think. I'm late 20s now, and I feel like my energy levels are still pretty good, to be honest. It depends on your CPM and what the content is. So let's say you made a channel and you was talking about finances, for example, like crypto and whatever, like business and finance. 1 million views on that sort of channel is a lot more valuable than 1 million views on, let's say, like a boxing channel, for example. It's a big difference, because the advertisements are more valuable on the finance content than it would be the boxing content, because that audience is more likely to buy and this, that, and the other. Exactly. I know the clip you're talking about, Nordic. Exactly. I know the clip you're talking about. Big up Brandon, yeah. There's always random ass clubs in the Premier League, man. There's always random ass clubs. I work in finance, basically. The short of it, I work in finance. Disturbed reality. Yeah, that's the most viewed video. I'm not sure what that video did in terms of monetization, because it got demonetized really quick. Yeah, personal finance pays quite well. Yeah, I feel like I was way more energetic at 17. I even feel like I'm not as strong as I was now at 17. Yeah. I think a man's strength is like late 20s, early 30s, so right? That's when it peaks. That's what I read, and that's what I read at least. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. I'm going to get a bottle of water. Hang on. But yeah, I don't feel too bad. I still feel pretty young. I can't lie. Yeah, I'm not as fit as I once was, but I'm way stronger than I've ever been. Yeah. I'm relatively fit, but I could be better, yeah. I'm not as fit as I was. I'm not as fit as I was. But I'm still relatively fit. I'm still relatively fit. Like when I've been running, I'm not as unfit as I thought I'd be, to be honest, but yeah, the whole Andrew Tate thing, man, I'm just kind of bored of it all, mate, to be honest with you. To me the guy just stinks of controlled opposition. Stinks of controlled opposition. But you know, I maybe that's like is anybody who's anybody a controlled opposition pawn? Probably not. No, I'd say they're not. But Andrew Tate to me just has all the red flags that you need to see. All the red flags that you need to see. But yeah, that's just that's my opinion. I've heard the name. Yeah, David Fuller. He's a sickening individual. Disturbing made a video about him. I've heard the name, David Fuller. I know I've heard the name. I've heard of this case. Yeah, I have heard of this case. If they get loads of mainstream media coverage, then probably, yeah. When I say controlled opposition, one thing that I think people get twisted is it's like most of these controlled opposition individuals, it's not like they get sat down with fucking the CIA and FBI, MI5, etc. I think a lot of these guys are just useful idiots more than anything. That's why they're platformed, potentially. I doubt that many of these guys are actually in cahoots with the authorities or with the powers that be. I think a lot of them are just useful idiots. But Andrew Tate to me is blatant. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, a lot of them are assets rather than agents. Yeah, like Tommy Robinson was a good example of that. I mean, he was cast aside once the war on terror narrative was used up. You know, the fake war on terror. Yeah, makes it easier to convince people that they are legit. Yeah. But Tommy Robinson was a massive shill. He states like the guy is just an idiot, Tommy Robinson. So he states he's a Zionist. He's a proud Zionist. He supports Zionists, and then he complains about you know, all of this gender ideology. Well, where does that come from? Where does that come from? Where do those sort of ideologies come from? Where do they stem from? Who are the companies pushing these narratives, supporting these narratives in the media? Who are these companies? Who are they owned by? Yeah, Luca Magnotta. Yeah, complete fucking degenerate, that guy. Hopefully that guy never sees the light of day again. But it's Canada, right? So I wouldn't be shocked if they release him at some point. The more you drink water, by the way, the more you appreciate it. I've been getting back on water. But yeah, the world's fucked, man. The world's crazy. Just try and ignore the news, ignore the media. Just try and live your life, man. Just try to use the internet as a place to, I don't know, learn things and create. I guess I'd say try and create more than you consume is one thing I'd say. Try to create more than you consume. That'd be the advice I'd give. Yeah, water of life. Never turn your back on water. I learned that the hard way. Yeah, it makes you feel a lot better, bro. Let's say you, even if you've got a shit diet. Let's say somebody in the chat's got a shit diet, this, that, and the other. Just start drinking water. Even then, you'll start feeling better to a certain degree. You'll start feeling better. Just feel like I've got more energy, I guess, more than anything. Feel more alert overall when I'm consistently drinking water. I feel more alert, more like better concentration, things like that. Plus, it makes your skin look better as well. Never heard of this case, no. Eileen Wernos. No, I never heard of that case, Brandon. I can check it out. I can definitely check it out. Yeah, that's the UK for you, yeah. John Venables and Robert Thompson got freed after 8 years. The world is soft, yeah. I don't care whether they was kids or not. Should have been locked up for the rest of their lives. The world has gone soft. Embarrassing. Absolutely embarrassing. That's the world we live in now, though, unfortunately. That's the world we live in. By the way, I'm looking at this Don King undercard for Adrian Broner's comeback on the 9th of June. And Rigondeaux is fighting, like I said, he's fighting a guy called Charlie Clemente Andino, who is 12-0, unbeaten. But he last fought in June of 2016. That's when he last fought. He last fought 7 years ago, and that's who Rigondeaux is fighting. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. I know the name, Slobodan Milosevic. Wasn't he the guy, the Yugoslavian, hang on. Yeah, former Serbian president, yeah. I know who he is, but I don't know the whole details. I know Pedro Lopez, yeah. Colombian serial killer who killed 110 people and was released after 14 years. That's crazy. That's crazy. Yeah, 2016, bro. That's when that guy last fought. 2016 was when I first started working. Mate, I was 22 in 2016. Joke of the sport, right? Fighter safety, but yeah, let's sanction the guy who's not fought in 7 years. Why is he still promoting as well? Because it's not like he's broke. He doesn't need to promote. Yeah, the chessboard killer. Yep, I know that case. Yeah, Alexander Pishukin. Yeah, that guy hasn't fought since I was 11, bro. That's insane. That's insane. How can a guy like that get sanctioned? Honestly, it's an absolute fucking joke. Absolute fucking joke. Imagine he goes in there and actually beats Rigondeaux, though. Can you imagine? I don't know how old this guy is either. It doesn't say how old he is. Maybe he's like fucking been in prison or something. He hasn't fought since when I was in high school. I'm 23 and I'm going to law school now. That's crazy, bro. And congrats, by the way. Congrats. I know you've spoken about that before. You know Fatimia Haklaj, a female Albanian killer from my town in Albania. Sorry, a famous Albanian killer from my town in Albania. Most feared guy in Albania, Kosovo, and Serbs feared him. No, I'll have to check it out, bro. Yeah, Don King may as well get Julian Jackson to fight on a card. Yeah, fucking get Razor Ruddock back out of retirement. Fucking hell. Meldrick Taylor, get him back as well. Insane. Don King, though, innit? It's Don King. No, I think Broner's going to win, man. Like, this Billy Hutchinson guy is, like, ranked bottom of the barrel on BoxRec. He's lost before against Scrubs. I know, like, that's not good research. I get it, but Broner will win that fight, surely. So, yeah, Billy Hutchinson, 20 wins, 2 defeats, 4 draws. And he's lost to real no marks. And he's drawn loads of fights against no marks as well. So, yeah, this guy's basically a club fighter from Pittsburgh. He mainly fights. He's never fought a 10-rounder, let alone a 12-rounder. So yeah, Broner's going to beat this guy up. Broner's going to beat that guy up. Bum fight. That was the last thing Broner had left, was his name value. Now the name value's gone as well. Nobody cares about Broner. Nobody cares. That was the last thing he had left, was name value, and it's gone now. So Broner is Broner, I would imagine, is going to just fade into obscurity at this point in time. How old is Broner now? 34? I would say. It's got to be about 34, right, Broner? 33 years old. See, Broner should still be fighting at a high level if he took his career seriously. Like, he's Spence's age, basically. He's basically Spence's age. But there you go. There you go. What can you say? Yeah, Ricardo Lopez was a good fighter, man, no doubt. Very good fighter. By the way, lads, if you could smash the like, be much appreciated. If you could crack that like button. Start streaming on Kick or Rumble. I may do. I've been thinking about it. I've been thinking about it. We'll see. Yeah, smack that like button. Facts. Who do I think is going to get relegated from the Premier League this year? Luton. Shame to say it, but Luton. Fuck. Who else got promoted? Burnley and who was the other one? Sheffield United. I think Luton will go down. I think Sheffield will go down. I'm going to say Bournemouth. I think Bournemouth might go down next year. I think Bournemouth might go down. What's your thoughts on Tank going pen after he had everything set up for him not to go pen? Funny stuff, in my opinion. It just highlights how stupid that guy is. He broke his what was he? He was on house arrest basically, and he broke it. Guy's an idiot. No, I didn't stream. No, I didn't stream. I was going to stream this week. I might stream tomorrow. I don't know. I might stream tomorrow. See how I feel. Top prospects in boxing? I don't even know, man. I don't even keep up for prospects like I used to. Honestly, I don't really watch out for prospects like that. Keyshawn Davis is up there, I'd say. At top rank, at lightweight. I think he's a good prospect. Andy Cruz could be. I need to see his first fight, though. But he was a great amateur, Andy Cruz. Really, really, really good amateur. So I'm going to throw Andy Cruz in there anyway. There's a few guys, but I think Crystal Palace, Bournemouth and Luton go down, while Leeds, Southampton and Coventry go up. I think Palace will be okay. Mind you, that they're losing Zaha. Yeah, they're going to lose Zaha more than likely. So maybe. Depends on who their manager is going to be next season as well, Palace. Depends on who their manager is going to be. Yeah, he thought he could he thought he could spend his house arrest out of 4 seasons. I'm surprised Floyd still wants to associate with this idiot. Yeah, there you go. There you go. Maybe Floyd is still getting some sort of cut. I don't know. Fucking idiot. You can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink at the end of the day. That's what I think of when I see Adrian Broner. Like you said, it was set up for him not to go to pen, and he ends up in jail. I'm not even sure. I didn't see it, bro. I don't even know what Djokovic said. Said. Florian Marku just needs to fight. Do I watch Bosch TV? No, I don't. I'm not a big fan of that Big John Fisher guy. I'm not a big fan of him. I don't get it. What is it about boxing where all of these fucking dads just get involved and make a name for themselves? There's no other sport like it in that regard. There's no other sport like it. It's mad. It's absolutely mad. But yeah, I'm not a big fan of him personally. It's just a little samey. It's a bit Not a big fan. He seems like a nice guy, but a little bit cringe, in my opinion. A little bit cringe. And that Gareth A. Davis is a fucking idiot as well. I can't sit down and listen to that guy. He's a creep. Is that recent, Joseph? Frank knows he's lost. Team Fury have lost that PR battle. They've lost it. After the fallout of that Usyk Fury negotiations, most people took the side of Usyk, and that's the first time I've really seen the public turn its back on Fury for a long time. Obviously, he still had his fans backing him up, but a lot of neutrals, a lot of casual fans turned their back on Fury and blamed him. So Frank Warren is trying to win that PR game, but it's long gone. It's lost. It's lost. Okay, so it was this week. But yeah, he's just trying to regain that, trying to give Tyson a good bit of PR, but like I said, it's lost. He was laying into the gad about any criticisms made towards Fury. Yeah, Frank is what he is, man. I think Frank needs to step down personally and let his son take over. Is it George? George Warren? He speaks well. You know, he's worked with his dad for a long time. I think Frank needs to step down. Personally. Yeah, fair play to Frank. Still twisting and bending the narrative to stick up for Fury. Take some talent at this stage, to be fair. Yeah, I know, right? But I think he should retire. I think he needs to just sit it out now. Like I said, let George take over, try and rebuild relations with other promoters and work together. Because it seems that George is willing to speak to like Matchroom and other companies. It seems like George is he wants to work with people, so that's what I would do. That's what I want to see anyway. Yeah, nobody challenges Frank Warren. Yeah, it is embarrassing. Because they know he's just going to deny access if they push back. Not so much TalkSport, but TalkSport should do better. But a lot of these like independent journos, including Gareth A. Davis, actually, because he still goes to the shows and covers them, he's just going to refuse access if they push him too hard. And that's the issue with a lot of these channels. They don't push these guys because they'll lose access. But if they all agreed to do it, they can't ban everybody. Sounds like I dislike a lot of people in the boxing world. That is fact. Yeah, I do. I don't mind Gareth A. Davis. Weird-looking guy, but a decent journo. All I'll say is, bro, I've heard some very off-putting things about him. Whether they come out or not is another question. But if it looks like a duck, if it sounds like a duck, that's what I'll say about Gareth A. Davis. If Wilder fought Povetkin in Russia years ago, when the fight was mandated by WBC, I think Wilder would have been knocked out. Yeah, Povetkin was a favourite going into that fight, if I'm not mistaken. I'm sure Povetkin was a favourite. I was picking Povetkin as well. Maybe Wilder could have caught him. I mean, he's got a chance, but I'd probably lean towards Povetkin. Yeah, but yeah, these promoters seem to go on until they die. Arum, Heyman, Don King, Warren, they all go on for way too long. It's a joke, yeah. Yeah, exactly. Because, like I said, Eddie Hearn and George Warren, they seem to get on okay. So maybe that could be beneficial for us boxing fans actually getting good fights. You know, cross-promotional fights type of thing. And Frank is just not up to it. He's not up to it in regards to like the social media age, things of that nature. He's stuck in his ways, Frank Warren. Stuck in his ways. I'm not convinced he knows the... I don't know. But yeah, exactly, yeah. Gareth A. Davis knows what side his bread is buttered. That's why he always defends Fury and co, yeah. And like I said, that's the case with most boxing scribes and these interview channels. They all know the line not to cross, and they don't cross it. They don't ask the real hard questions because there's a risk they can be denied access, and that's their way of living gone. But again, if all of these guys got together and kind of hashed out what are the standards, that we do ask hard questions, and everyone does that, what can they do? Can they kick all of these guys out? Can they ban all of these channels? No. But, do you think Michelle Joy Phelps cares about asking pertinent questions that boxing fans want to know about? Or Kugan Cassius? These guys don't give a fuck. They're there for the jolly up. That's what they're there for. They're not interviewers as such. They are. But they're not really there. Providing content is secondary. They are just tools of the promoters. That's what they are. Bro, he might have to the way he's moving, XMB. Ben Shalom will retire before Aram, Don King, and Frank. He might have to. See, I don't like True Geordie as a person, but that is a good point. Yeah, he's not afraid of asking those questions. He doesn't need boxing. He doesn't rely on boxing coverage to make his money. So he's got nothing to lose by calling guys out and sticking the boot in. And that's why, because he doesn't rely on boxing. He doesn't rely on access to promoters and things of that nature. Yeah, the fact that Gareth A. Davis made any type of remote criticism of Fury tells us all we need to know about his recent antics. Facts. Great point. Frank still has a better shoulder roll than Floyd. Bring back Bean? Yeah, I mean, who knows where that guy is? That's very peculiar, isn't it? He's not been seen anywhere. He's not been seen. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Because again, he can ask Tyson the hard questions because I'm sure he doesn't give a fuck whether he gets another interview or not. He doesn't need a Tyson Fury, So he's willing to ask those questions. And that's why the boxing interview channels are not willing to ask those questions, because if Tyson Fury flips out on Rob Tebbett or Kugan Cassius or whoever it is, they're not going to get another interview. So they're not going to ask those types of questions. I mean, it's a good point. If he cares about his legacy, yeah, he should care about trying to fight Bivol again. But I'm speaking as a fan. I've just got no interest in it. If he's looking for that fight, I don't blame him, if that's what you're asking. Yeah, bring back Adam Smith, 100%. Hopefully he wasn't noncing, though. Seems a pretty weird guy. He's just been scrubbed from the face of the earth like Schofield, yeah. That's a good point. That's a good point, man. Yeah, Tyson Fury's a fucking retard, man, honestly. People are sick of Tyson Fury's antics. People are just sick to death of it. There's only so much defending you can do of the guy, and I still see his fans try to defend him. I still see his fans desperately trying to defend him. They are in absolute denial. Absolute denial. They're like some like ugly ass housewife who like sniffs her husband's fucking clothes, stinks of perfume, there's lipstick on his neck, and she's thinking to herself, there's a logical explanation for this. That's what they're like. They are reaching hard, man. They're done out here, man. What's up, Johnny? How you doing, bro? Jimmy's still talking about Canelo. Who the fuck is Bruce Bunce? I got no idea who that guy is. Who the fuck is that? Do you mean Steve Bunce? I don't know who Bruce Bunce is. Yeah, Dimitri Bivol has a very high boxing IQ. Leaning towards Taylor, but I think it's going to be a much more competitive fight than a lot think. I've seen a lot of people say Taylor smashes him and steamrolls him. I can't see it. I see a very competitive fight. I'm leaning towards Taylor, close on points, but I think it's going to be competitive. I think Teofimo needs to make that fight low output, make it tit for tat. I think that sort of fight favors Teo because he's more athletic, he's quicker, he lands the better one-shot punches, the more flashy punches. If Teo can make it a low-output fight, I think it favors Teo. Taylor needs to get on Teo, needs to get on his chest, make him work that body, make it a horrible fight. Because Teo, I don't think Teo's got the mindset to deal with that. Not convinced he's got the strength to deal with that either. But I'm going to say Taylor close on points. Taylor close on points. Yeah, Tyson Fury single-handedly destroyed the heavyweight division. Yeah, facts. Yeah, Usyk is 36 and Fury's 34. Fury looks at least 5 years older than Usyk. Yeah, I mean, Fury's been living like a fucking degenerate, though, hasn't he? Drink, drugs, getting himself out of shape. And that catches up with you eventually. That does catch up. Yeah, Fury's not scared of Usyk. He is just greedy. He knows, man. He knows Fury. He knows Usyk is a damn hard fight. He knows that. One thing about Tyson Fury, he's a lot of things, but he's not stupid. He understands boxing. He knows Usyk's a really unique style, a style in which he's not seen before. He knows Usyk's got quicker feet, quicker hands. He knows Usyk's a hard fight. And we've seen how Fury struggled with smaller guys in the past, like Steve Cunningham, like Otto Wallin, who is basically Usyk's size. Look at how Fury struggled with a southpaw stance in that fight. Fury was getting caught by that southpaw lead continuously in that fight. Yeah, facts. Yeah, that's how I see it as well. I don't trust Teo mentally. But on the flip side, I don't trust Josh Taylor in regards to how he is at the weight anymore. Because cutting down to 140 at 32 years old at his size can't be easy. So it must be taking something from him at this stage. Has to be. What's up, G-Man? How you doing? Yeah, greedy belly. Yeah, facts. Fury is worse than Wilder for one simple reason, that Wilder is controlled by his team. Fury is too intelligent for all of that, so you can tell all of his ducking is from him. That's a very good That's a very good point. That's a very good point. Like, if Wilder was managing himself, he'd probably fight anybody, as much as I don't like him. I don't think he's smart enough to, like, selectively manage his own career like that. Whereas Fury is. Fury is very cerebral. That's a very good point. I think I might agree with it as well. It's a good point. I think Taylor needs to stop Teo to get the win. He could get robbed on the cards. Sets up Teo versus Haney for the WBO title. Haney can become an immediate Mando. That's a great point. But at the same time, I'm sure this is Teo's last fight with Top Rank. Mind you, it was Haney's last fight with Top Rank against Loma, so I don't know. How does Fury beat Usyk? Finish or decision? I don't think anybody would get stopped in that fight, personally. If Fury beats Usyk, it will be by decision. Vice versa as well. I don't think anybody gets knocked out in that fight, personally. It's possible, obviously. It's heavyweight boxing, but I just don't see that fight ending in a knockout. I don't see it ending in a knockout. Have to DM you, mate. I've got a few videos recorded and have a case if you fancy collabing on it. I'll take a look, bro. I'll take a look. I'll definitely look at doing something like that. It's just time at the minute. Time is finite at the minute. But yeah, I'll look at it, bro. Fowler, yeah. Anthony Fowler's retiring to sell his CBD. Fair play to him, I guess, right? I didn't like Fowler much, but at least he called out the scamdemic. So fair play to him. Yeah, I've been saying the same. I think if Fury Usyk were to fight, it would go the distance. Yeah, I just can't see a stoppage in that fight. The only way I could see a stoppage is like if it's in the UK and it's a bullshit stoppage, something like that. But I just can't see a stoppage, really. You tell Fowler to give me a discount. Facts. That's interesting. They haven't even fully sold out a 5K arena. Should have held it at Glasgow and sold out the Hydro Arena, 15K. It'll be shown on ESPN and Sky regardless. So why not stage it in the UK? Maybe tax reasons. That's the only thing I can think of, because everything else you said makes sense. Makes more sense to have it in the UK if you're looking at just making a big event. Maybe tax reasons, I don't know. But I'm pretty sure New York is a high tax state anyway. Yeah, it's a good point. Yeah, facts. Yeah, I cannot stand Sonny Edwards. Favorite go-to junk food and takeouts. I'm about to hit Uber Eats. Need some inspiration. I've got a Turkish place near me that does like amazing. They do amazing everything, but their kebabs are so good. So if I were to order something, I'd order a kebab. If you've got a good kebab place near you, but it's not like the place I order from is not like a fucking takeaway per se. It's actually like somewhat of a restaurant, so it's good stuff. But yeah, I'd go for a kebab. I don't know. That's a trash fight anyway. Romero versus Ryan Garcia. Bum fight. Absolute bum fight. Fucking Rolly struggled with a guy, man, who was 17. How old was that guy? 72 years old? Like, it looked like he came out the jungle, like fighting a fucking militia in in Honduras or something, man. Like, you know, one of those fucking militia groups. In South America. Those fucking like FARC Colombian guerrilla groups. Yeah, I like pizza, but I've really got to fancy it. I've really got to fancy pizza. I don't have pizza that often, to be honest. I don't have pizza that often. That's bad then. I'm of Turkish background and I've been overwhelmed with kebab dishes most of my life. Any other ideas? I'm done, bro. I don't know after that. It's kind of weird though, right? Like you're from like you're of Turkish descent. See, I find Turkish food. I kind of found Turkish food late, but it's genuinely one of my favorite cuisines. One of my favorites. But I guess you've always kind of lived with it. You've always had it, so maybe you don't. I guess you just get bored of it, right? I guess you get bored of it. But I love Turkish food, man. Fucking love it. Just thoughts, I'd give you a laugh. I went to my mate's girlfriend's 30th birthday the weekend, got drunk, and I called a barrel and made pig noises every time she walks. Fucking hell. You got rowdy. Yeah, I got rowdy this weekend, bro. First time I went out on a town for a long time, bro. First time for a long time. And I got a little rowdy. A little rowdy. It's a good time, though. Good time. That's jokes. That is jokes, though. How far can Johnny Fisher go? Not very far, JD. I don't think he goes far. If he wins a British title, I think he's done very, very well. I think he's done very well. Ryan versus Rowley will be a non-title pay-per-view. Rowley will drop the WBA belt because of O'Hara Davis being Mando. Davis wants to step aside and will let them fight, but they're not paying okay. Who actually wants to see Ryan versus Rowley, by the way? I mean, come on, man. Oh, God. If Ryan fights again, I'd rather see him fight somebody decent. I think he knocks him out in 4 or 5 rounds, 6 rounds. Like, Rowley fucking sucks. He is the worst world champion around right now, Rolly Romero. He is the worst world champion. There are so many guys at 140 who beat him, it's not even funny. There's at least 20 guys who beat him in that division. I'm not exaggerating either. There's at least 20 guys who beat him, including O'Hara Davis, by the way. It would have a funny build-up, but like, bro, like, Rolly Romero being in 2 pay-per-views is criminal, given his ability. Goes to show, like Johnny said, it goes to show how crap the era is and how boxing fans really will accept any mediocre level of crap that they're served. Yeah, he was. And Charles Martin sucked, but Charles Martin was better than Rolly Romero. At least he could fucking throw somewhat of a jab and he could counterpunch. He was a little sneaky, I guess. Rolly is terrible. I can't think of many worse world champions than Rolly Romero since I've been watching boxing. I can't think of many worse. I really can't. I walk to serve like a god, yeah. Yeah, that is true, yeah. Full English breakfast, anytime takes beating, yeah, facts. A good full English, like nice bacon, nice sausages, hash browns, egg, all that good stuff, man. Fried bread, fried tomatoes. Yeah, sick, man. Amazing. That's again back once again. It really highlights how what the consumer base is and how they'll be fooled about anything, especially in the UK. There's so many gimmick fighters in the UK. It's unreal. So many gimmick fighters. Casual fans out here will eat up anything. Hardcore's no better, obviously, but you're drowned out by the casuals. Yeah, Groves was a good fighter, Jimmy. Groves was a good fighter. Christian Mijares versus Carlos Cuadras. That fight's actually happening. I swear Christian Mijares is like 40. Mad. Oh, it's a fantasy fight. Sorry. I was going to say, bro, that fucking hell. I'd probably lean towards Quadras super close points win. Yo, Johnny, I was saying this the other day. I think Junto Nakatani, I know this is going to sound a bit hypey, he may be the best guy at super flyweight right now. He may be the best guy because if you look at that division, Roman and Estrada are both on their way out. Junto is significantly bigger. He's in his prime. He's a power puncher. He's technically good. Does all the basics really well. I just see I see him beating both. I do. As much as I love Roman, I see him beating both. I see him beating Ioka at this stage as well. Ioka also seems to be on the slide. I think he beats Joshua Franco. I think he beats these guys at super flyweight. I think he might be the best guy, and he's got the scale and scope to go up further divisions because he's like 5'7" at super flyweight. So he's got the scope to be a multi-weight champion. He's already a two-weight champion, obviously, but you could see him getting a belt at bantamweight because now Inouye's moved from bantamweight. That division is pretty weak. This guy, I wouldn't be shocked if he ends up like a four division world champion. I wouldn't be shocked if he becomes like a 4 division champion. He's got the ability, he's got the size. Yeah, same, bro. I think Bam will beat Sonny. I think he'll beat Sonny, but I don't think he's gonna kill him like Nakatani would. Yeah, Junto's a joy to watch. I think Junto beats Bam too. That'll be a great fight. Well, Junto right now, if you look at all those divisions, flyweight, super flyweight, he's the guy that nobody's really talking about. I'm talking about fighters. No, like Sonny Edwards is a prime example. He always says how avoided he is and this, that, and the other. He never once mentioned Nakatani. No, I think Bam wins. I think Bam wins. I still think what's his name has a good chance against Sonny as well. What's the other Mexican's name? Julio Cesar Martinez. Montiel was a good fighter, man. Montiel in his prime was a good fighter. That's a hard one. That's a hard one. Not sure. I think Bam Rodriguez might be more naturally talented, but Montiel was a tough guy. Maybe I'd lean towards Bam, but it's a close one. I've still not rescored it well. I never I've only seen the fight once, and it was like on the back of 4 hours sleep. So I kind of just watched it as it was, and I've not sat and rewatched it, so I never scored it, to be honest. My gut feeling was that it was either going to be a draw or a close Lomachenko win on points when the scorecards were being read out. But yeah, I need to rescore it. I keep on saying I'm going to go back and watch it, but I haven't yet. It's a shame, really, because the fight was good, but once again, boxing shoots itself in the foot because, like, the vast majority of people I've seen had Lomachenko winning, and that's not a good look for boxing. When all of these big fights, there's some controversy. Every big fight, there seems to be controversy, and people wonder why boxing isn't hitting like it used to. Maybe Martinez is on the slide. I think he's looking for cash out fights, Jimmy. That's why he's talking about guys like Pacquiao, a retired politician, Kell Brook, a retired fucking guy who God knows what he's been doing since he's been retired, coke and God knows what else. That's why he's looking at these sort of fights, man. He doesn't believe he's the real deal. If he believed he was the real deal, you would hear him talk about Virgil Ortiz, Jaron Ennis. When have you heard this guy ever mention those fighters? By the way, never mentions them. I don't even remember his last fight. You think Connor is that smart? The people around him are smart. The people around him are smart. Yeah, Boots and Ortiz would kill him. Yeah, I agree. I agree. I know Boots didn't look great last time out, but he dominated the fight and he basically won every round. But that guy who Boots fought, Chakizian, whatever his name was, would arguably be Conor Benn's best opponent. Conor Benn's been feasting on ancient old men. Even Mean Machine, yeah. To be fair, Ben did actually mention Boots recently. I'd like to see it, bro. I'd like to see it. Yeah, facts. Yeah, a lot of Americans think boxing's the top sport in the UK. Not really true. Boxing has slowed down a lot. Is it even top three? Is it even a top three sport right now? Not so sure. I don't think it is. I don't think it is. Yeah. Fans come out for Tyson Fury. They come out for Anthony Joshua, and a couple of other fights here and there. But on the whole, people don't know who Josh Taylor is. Former undisputed champion, a pound for pound fighter at one point in time. Nobody in the UK knows who he is. Yeah, boxing's not as popular as others abroad think it is in the UK. It's not as popular as they think it is. It's probably still more popular in the UK than it is in the States in comparison. Yeah, more than likely, but there's other sports out here, man, like rugby, well, obviously football, right? But rugby, even like cricket, bro. I think he can beat Baturbiev. I think he can. But it's dangerous because Callum's got good timing, man. He's got great timing with that left hook in particular. And that'll be dangerous when Beterbiev is walking down Callum when he's trying to get to the inside. Because it's at that mid-range area where Callum's left hook's going to be really dangerous. And you could see Callum maybe timing Beterbiev coming in and landing a big shot and hurting him. Because Callum can punch, no doubt. So he's got the power to really make that fight interesting. I'll still lean towards Beterbiev, but I'm not as confident. I'm not as confident as I would have been 2-3 years ago. Put it that way. If Beterbiev sticks to Callum's chest, stays on the inside, he shouldn't be in too much trouble because Callum can't fight on the inside. We saw that against John Ryder. We saw that against Canelo. Callum can't fight on the inside. So if Beterbiev gets on his chest, he'll work him over, but it's getting there. It's getting to the inside. That's going to be dangerous. And that's when Callum can land that left hook. That is true, actually, Jimmy. Yeah, Eubank did fight some domestic rivals on the come up. He did. You may be right. Yeah, 1 football, 2 cricket, 3 rugby, 4 darts, 5 F1. Maybe, yeah. Boxing might be about 6. Yeah. Yeah, true, Joseph. True. I don't think it would sell out Anfield, bro. I really don't. And I don't think it would do well on pay-per-view. Again, Callum Smith, it's not exactly he's not exactly a household name out here. You walk down the street and ask 20 people who's Callum Smith. Maybe 1 person, 2 people know. Yeah, that is sad, right? Yeah, they can't even sell out the MSG ballroom. It would have like Jimmy. I think it was Jimmy. I don't know who it was. I think it was Jimmy. It would have been better in Scotland because it would have made for a better events, more people, better atmosphere. But Teo wouldn't go to Scotland. He didn't want to go to Australia, man. Yeah, UFC is definitely getting up there in America. Yeah, but one American football, 2 yeah, 1A American football, 1B NBA, 3 UFC. And baseball quite popular out there. That's a good question. Is Callum a bigger star than Yard in the UK? I'd have thought so. Eddie needed to open up his wallet. Yeah. I'd say Callum is probably slightly more known, but I doubt there's much in it. Why do I think boxing's losing popularity in the USA? Because the sport is rife with corruption. We see bullshit results constantly. Fights not happening. Promoters not working together to make cross promotional fights. Plus the UFC's rise. There's a lot of reasons why boxing isn't popping like it used to be. But they've essentially they've neglected their consumers. Same in the UK as well. Yeah, exactly. They still have this belief that America is the epicenter, but the reality is there's guys all around the world now making silly money. Look at Inoue in Japan. That guy earns mega money in Japan, does mega numbers, sells a lot of tickets. There's certain guys in the UK who can do that as well. You know, Yeah, I mean, exorbitant pay-per-view prices is another reason why boxing is falling in America. $80 for a fight is crazy. It's crazy. Yeah, Yard has been sponsored more than Callum. He might be more known actually, but then again, I'm from East London, so it's probably not fair for me to say. I'd say it's comparable. I'd say it's comparable. Yeah, Laura Woods said that UFC's running rings around boxing, and she ain't wrong. Strong card after strong card, and loads of stars. Yeah, and that's another thing, right? People say there's no stars, but like a couple of years ago, for example, like Justin Gaethje versus Tony Ferguson, for example, I'm pretty sure that did something like 700,000 pay-per-view buys. Like even a fight like that is doing good numbers. Yeah, yeah, I know, bro. Yeah, pay-per-view prices are going up here as well. Went from £20 to £25, and then nearly £30. Yes, that's a joke. That's why I barely pay for any of this shit. Laura Woods, how she is promoting anything I'll never know. Or sorry, how she is presenting anything I'll never know. Just a pretty face, mate. That's all it is. That's all it is. Let's be real. That's why she's employed. If she had the exact same skills as she does now, but she looked like Susan Boyle, she ain't getting that job. Let's be honest. No, again, she is what she is to me. Like I don't look at Laura Woods and think to myself, I don't. She's there basically. She's a pretty face. That's what she's there for. That's what she's there for. I don't look at Laura Woods to get like some groundbreaking analysis or anything of that nature. She's just a presenter, which is just to present, right? Probably right, Yimmy. Yeah, you're probably right. I don't mind Mike Costello. I don't mind Mike Costello, but I agree, especially on Bellew. Bellew needs to go. If I could get rid of any of them, it's Bellew. I can tolerate Mike Costello. I don't think Mike Costello's that bad. I think he's a decent commentator. I get that like the commentary style is more suited to radio than it is TV. But I don't mind his commentary. I don't mind it. A lot of people don't like him though. Yeah, Maya Jama is on a different level in terms of looks. She probably thought the zone was beneath her because it's funny like how they kind of hyped that signing up when she was their presenter, and then she like left after like two shows. She left after like two shows. Yeah, the HBO crew was sick, man. I still miss like I'm not even American, but like when I used to stay up in the middle of a night waiting for fights to come on, watching fights on stream, and when it was HBO, it just felt like a bigger fight. Their presentation was the best. At one point in time, their commentary was the best. When it was HBO, it just felt like a big fight. It just felt like a big fight. We'll see, Toma. We'll see. We'll see. I mean, apparently he's been made an offer. Canelo's been made an offer, apparently, to fight Benavidez, which was, 50 million up top, with, I'm assuming, upside as well. It sounds like a pretty good offer, but we'll see. I'm not aware of the contract, so what do I know? I didn't even know Maya Jama was on the zone. Was her presenting even worse than Laura Woods? Yeah, it was definitely worse. It was definitely worse. At least Laura knows shit about sports, yeah. Laura knows something about sport. Maya Jama was worse, but she was better to look at. So take your pick. What would you prefer? Yeah, I'll have to look at it, bro. Yeah, Canelo just needs to fucking leave 175 alone. Let 175 do what they do. We need Beterbiev Bivol, which we're not going to get, by the way. We're not going to get it now. But just stop meddling with that fucking division. Stop meddling with it. Yeah, I can see Eddie trying to convince Canelo to not fight Benavidez just because he wants to keep him in the matchroom fold. But that defeats the purpose of Canelo being a free agent. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Indeed. But I see fans like this as well, bro. I see fans. I said this earlier. I see fans who push that shit as well. They want to see Canelo on the zone for some reason. They'd rather not see Canelo Benavidez if it meant Canelo stayed on the zone, which is bizarre. Again, these guys are brown envelopes. That's what they are. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I've been saying this for months, months and months and months and months and months. There's a select group of fans who, for some reason, don't want to see that fight, Canelo versus Benavidez. And you just have to look at boxing Twitter. By the way, yeah. That's not what I've seen XMB, because a lot of these guys are British. A lot of these guys are British, and how many of these guys pay for these fights anyway? You see the pattern. You see the pattern among. Do you know what I mean? You know when somebody's like pro DAZN, pro PBC, pro whatever. I had people telling me, Grant, when Canelo versus John Ryder got signed, I had people telling me that John Ryder is a better opponent than Benavidez because of my resume. Whatever, man. Whatever. Yeah, he's becoming like the next Manny Pacquiao, man. Executioner. But Bivol, I genuinely don't want to see Bivol Canelo again. First fight was one-sided, like 9 rounds to 3, whatever I scored it. I think I scored it 9 rounds to 3. It was an obvious, clear, concise, decisive victory for Dimitri Bivol. Who wants to see it again? Plus, it wasn't even a great fight anyway. Who the fuck wants to see it again? Yeah, that's really it. Yeah, that's really it right there. But yeah, it's about this weekend, man. The fight is very interesting. It's like the two black sheep of boxing right now. Those two guys. Like 2 years ago, these guys were so highly touted, so highly regarded, and now both guys are fighting more or less for their careers. I think the loser of this fight's in a really bad spot. I think the loser of this fight's in a bad spot. Because Teo doesn't seem all there. Whereas Taylor, man, I'm not sold on his dedication. The stories are out there about what he gets up to outside the ring. No, I've not heard what Max Kellerman had to say. I never knew that guy was still talking about boxing, to be honest with you. I couldn't. I never liked Max Kellerman anyway. The story of a fight. Interesting. I don't see the rematch happening. Bivol team said they really don't want the rematch since they are asking for weird demands. That's interesting. And by the way, surely at this point in time, the rematch clause must have expired. Because we're over a year. The fight happened in May of 2022, right? So it's over a year now. Surely the rematch clause must have expired. Maybe it's going to be a fair fight then. Oh, mate. Both can rebound, I think. Teo is younger. Taylor might need this win a bit more, though. I don't know, man. I'm not convinced by. I'm just not convinced by Teo, like his mentality, him outside the ring. And as for Taylor, he's 32. Again, doesn't live the life. If he's to get beat by Teo, then go to welterweight, man. I don't know. Who do you like in boxing? It's a good question, bro. Not many people. If we're talking about not talking about fighters and just like commentators and analysts, not many. Malignaggi was the best of a bad bunch, I would say. When Malignaggi was a guy who, when he was commentating on a fight, he had no dog in the racing. He was actually really, really, really good. But he could be a bit biased because certain guys he liked, certain guys not so much. But Malignaggi was one of the best commentators I've heard recently. Nah, Kellerman's always been woke. Kellerman's always been woke. Yeah, Larry Merchant was the OG, man. I like Larry Merchant because Larry Merchant was when you watch those old HBO fights, he very rarely says much. He only says something when he needs to say something. I liked Kellerman more when he was spitting rhymes over dope beats. Yeah, we've seen the video, man. It's pure fucking cringe. Pure fucking cringe. Yeah, Merchant was he didn't he called it out. Well, he called shit out when he saw it. When he roasted Hopkins about fighting, what what's that guy's name? Hakar, whatever his name was. What did he say? It looks like he got paid a lot for not much, or something like that. Yeah, I like Larry Merchant. He was great. He was great. He'd get cancelled these days. Larry wouldn't be around these days, man. Kellerman was a better rapper than Broner and Danny Garcia. Does Danny Garcia rap? Oh my god. I know Broner tried to rap. But I never knew Danny Garcia did. Danny Garcia's one confused kid, man. Danny Garcia, man. Danny Garcia's weird because when he came up, man, he had his flaws, but he was the guy I liked. Tough kid, came to swing, could knock you out. Had his flaws, like I said, but the last few years, man, he's been acting wild. I don't want to use the expression I was going to use, but it just looks like somebody's got to him. It looks like honestly, it looks like he's been turned out, to be honest. Like, when I saw him after that Benavidez fight, just crying his eyes out, man, I was, bro. It's so bizarre to me, man. I don't know. I don't know. That whole PBC side of things, man, some of those guys are bizarre. I think a lot more there goes on behind the scenes than meets the eye. I really do. Merchant and Foreman were hilarious, yeah. Johnny Nelson is bad. Very bad. Seems like a nice guy, but he's crap. Yeah. When he told Zab Judah, take that silly Janet, well, whatever her name is, Janet Jackson hat off. Yeah. See, I used to like Danny. I used to like Danny on the come up. I used to like Danny up until about, I don't know. I guess since the inception of PBC. Like, when Danny came along on HBO, I really liked him. When he was fighting Khan and Matisse and those guys. Because he went for a good run at that stage. I think he's a bad pundit. Like, Tony Bellew is technically better than Alexander Usyk was one of his wild claims. Yeah, I never got it with Mikey Garcia. Mikey Garcia, to me, always looked basic, like decent jab, decent straight right, okay timing, done the basics well, but he was a guy early on who just got by on size. He was never a great boxer. Like, people were putting that guy pound for pound at one point in time, making out like he was one of the best in the world. It's mad. Yeah, Johnny Nelson, James Tennyson knocks out Tank. Yep. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yeah, Johnny Nelson said that Alexander Usyk was an average southpaw, yeah. Then Adam Smith flipped out, yeah. That's what I'm saying with Johnny Nelson. Maybe he says it for comedic effect, to get people riled up, maybe. But that's not what a pundit is supposed to do. That's not what a pundit is supposed to do. Or an analyst, you know. Did he say that? Johnny Nelson said he thought Bute beat Badu Jack. I watched that fight. I remember it being like a 8-4 type of fight, maybe 9-3. Gareth Davis to Teo. Seeing as he is a southpaw, will you throw the right hand? Riveting stuff, yeah. Yeah, that's Gareth A. Davis for you. I've heard. I was saying earlier. I've heard some things about him. I know there's somebody else in the chat who actually told me, and I'm not surprised. That guy's a weirdo, man. Absolute weirdo. Again, just jobs for the boys, you know. Arse licking, brown nosing, terrible, absolutely terrible. I can't even listen to that shit. Can't even listen to that shit. I don't watch any pre-fight build-up material for any fight. Yeah, I bet there's some proper kinky shit on Gareth A. Davis hard drive, yeah. Some Phil Schofield shit, yeah. But honestly, fuck that guy. Tyson Fury's #1 cheerleader. But even he, like somebody was saying earlier, even he was slightly critical of Tyson Fury recently. Even he can't peddle that nonsense any further. God. But anyway, guys, I'm going to wrap this one up. I've got an early start tomorrow, or relatively early, so I'm going to wrap it up. I'm going to call it a night. But yeah, peace out. I'll try and get the Teofimo Taylor prediction up tomorrow. Should be up tomorrow. I've done it already. It's just whether I get time to fucking upload it. But yeah, peace out, guys. Have a good evening. Have a good week. Catch you on the next one. Peace.